Hi there everybody, Photaku here, and what we've got to talk about today is the remake of It. Now when it's come to remakes in the past, we normally get something that's so engaging, so over the top, it's able to get you compelled to watch it, hanging on the edge of your seat. And other times, we get creations that just suck the soul out of you, leaving you just wandering in an empty shell, wondering why you put so much money down to see the movie. Here, though, with what I just described, It 2017 is by far one of the greatest movies I've seen this year following that context. It really is that good. Now let's get right into it. So the premise in this film still pretty much follows the same setup from the 80s version of this Stephen King novel. Now what makes this version so unique is the great direction by Andy Muschietti, as well as the available equipment. As the story goes, it still follows the Losers Club as they are stalked by Pennywise the Clown, who is pretty much trying to take advantage of their fears to lure them to their own deaths. And as much as it follows the story beat by beat, none of this ever feels too replayed, and the pacing in this movie is great. And I mean, the way that the characters just stand out, I mean, even from their original counterparts that were set up even then, the delivery of lines from Finn Wolfhard's Richie in this are just so on point. I absolutely love it. And combine that with the cinematography in this film versus the one from the 80s, you can see that they try to breathe new life to it in how they establish the scenes, how they set up the tone for the chilling atmosphere. It truly is unsettling, almost as unsettling as the original, but for different reasons. Here being that Pennywise the Clown, played by Bill Skarsgård, in comparison to Tim Curry, I feel is a nice take. Primarily being that Pennywise is more CGI than he originally was back when Tim Curry played him. Of course, whereas the 80s flick was going more off of its practical effects, here there's a nice blend between the practical and the CGI. Andy Muschietti's last film, Mama, was great for doing that, and I mean, that movie is terrifying once you get to see just how well they mix those visual effects. Even the monster in Mama at times was partially combined between CGI and practical effect. Now what continues to make this so great, as I mentioned, it's engaging, is that the way that the scenes are set up, the way the characters are well established in this flick. I mean, as far as most of the cliches go, both for 80s flicks and for the usual tropes within Stephen King books, and here, the cast that they assembled does a great job on delivery. Like, man, these kids do phenomenal work. And that's just what I find to be so exciting, and that's why I find myself recommending this movie. Horror buffs here are not going to fall for the jump scares that are set up, at least not as conveniently as they would probably go the common moviegoer, but the focus isn't so much just on getting a scare from the audience as much as it is just getting you into this world. From there you can pretty much get your fear, and it's on a different context of it, especially because when these kids with their different ambitions, their difficulties come together to fight Pennywise, it's just cool. That and Henry Bowser in this one, which is more scary than he was in the original film. So I mean, great work there. And yeah, I'd say definitely go and give this movie a watch. It's easily a 5 out of 5, and I am excited for what's coming next. I mean, the original, even in its own, was almost a two-parter, and here you can see that. But even just on its own, this movie is great with what it sets up. Even where I'm pretty sure when the sequel comes around, it won't be unwelcome. And what I enjoy most is how with the use of different equipment, the different direction, that this movie feels fresh even though it's going off of material that's already been put to film already once before. Really taking advantage of what is available to just have a spectacular movie. Thank you again for watching. Greatly appreciated. Remember to like, share, and subscribe. If you enjoy content like this, be sure to follow more of Wasp Nest videos. Now, I know I've got a different setup for today, but that's just because we've been exceedingly busy. Our manager Miguel has been working hard to get the Bakersfield CollectorCon ready for this weekend. So it would be cool if you were to come see this. September 9th and 10th, come down to see the entire Wasp Nest crew over at Rabobank Arena in Bakersfield, California. It'll be great. I'll be there taking pictures. You can also see me in cosplay, and we've also got a small trailer for a film we have been working on called Any Given Weekend, of which yours truly has a small part in it. So yeah, thanks again guys, hope you have a good one, and we'll see you next time.